There's a job opportunity if anyone is up for 2 full-time days a week window cleaning. You're looking for an in-house resident. You can have a bedroom in the annex and just clean windows. Good morning, folks. Welcome back. It's the Big Farm Build. Today, it's a very exciting day. It is time for windows, doors, and all things glass. Fair few bits to get done still. Let's make a start. So I'm not entirely sure what time everything's kicking off. Basically got their lorry coming with their high-ab to get everything off, everything's palletised, and then they're going to make a start. But in typical farm style, we're going to have to kick this video off with a rapid-fire farm chores. Let's go. April Fools! This is when you don't want April Fools to go wrong. Alright, so far so good. The lorry's just left, so everything's going to get brought in, put kind of where it needs to be before they start fitting. So these are like the fixed glazed units for the big sliders. The other one's over here, and they're just about to lift the opening slider, I think, which are already in their frames. They look heavy. It's not their first rodeo. They've got all these foam pads so that they can take breaks and put it down and readjust. We put them all the way through, all the way around to outside. Ready? So these are going to go in today.
Yeah.
These are the internal, big, heavy-duty, fancy ones, like the rest of the windows, and then these ones are right behind.
Okay.
But while those are going in, we're also doing a bit of training, so we're fitting the windows over here.
In the kitchen?
I'll show you this. Yeah. Because these days, to fixed glaze. So,
yeah.
We're just getting tape on. It's going to be airtight taped back to the framework. And then we've got the glass, which we haven't found yet, so I'll find it somewhere. And then all of these.
Oh, yeah.
Well, fit with the glazing, and it all has to get site silicon. And then all this goes back in after somehow.
They look huge. Is that one? That one's for there.
That's for there, yeah.
Yeah.
So they're fixed. And then
I was going to say you got the sizes wrong otherwise.
All right, we're not that bad. Yeah. So we're just doing a bit of prep. We're going to get some more sill tape.
You haven't had any scary bits. They look like they fit well.
No, they didn't. Oh, so there was. I mean, our bottom concrete that we did wasn't 4 mil off, I think. So there's quite a few, and they're such heavy doors that they have to use metal shims.
Okay.
Metal plates. So it wasn't like we could have probably got it a bit better, and we probably could have compensated and gone even lower with the concrete. Then they could have brought it up. So at the moment it sits about 3 mil above floor level.
Okay.
So they're tiny lip. It's just unconventional having finished floor both sides. They're not used to that. Whereas outside here, where they can like slot it in, it's gonna be easier. But yeah, it's going okay. That's the pair of French doors to go in there, and then there's a window either side.
Oh yeah.
But they've made it sound like this is quite a complicated thing, so hopefully we're going to get that done
tomorrow
whilst Pedro's here to teach us. That's the fixed unit that sits on that side.
Yeah.
So they'll be
Too late to change your mind now, Tim.
too late now.
Ready? Good. Yeah.
One. Slowly up. 3, 2, 1. Stand table. Yeah. That's right. Okay.
See you.
Wait, Edward. Now, check the bone on the bone. 2 mil. Good.
Not much.
Let's go. Come back. 2 mil.
15 mil, 200 kilos. Just
Yeah. Good.
to you, maybe 1 mil.
No, just a bit. Oh, wait.
Right, while they carry on fitting the lift and slide doors, we're unpacking the bits that we're fitting, or the rest of it basically. But I thought I'd show you how it's all packed. It's quite neatly done. I have several of these pallets, some of which are like giant billboards. Everything was kind of leaned and strapped, but once you've taken off this one transport strap and all the cling film and stuff, then every single layer of glass or windows or units or doors has its own strap, so you can unstrap one, take it away, and all the others retained against the backing. So at least we know things aren't budging on us. And then everything's labelled up where it's for, how many bits in the unit, and that sort of stuff. These are the only ones that are plastic, so there's some UPVC doors and bits and bobs around where the swimming pool is, but I don't know if they're going to be heavier or lighter. Probably heavier.
Is it?
Yeah. I always accept it.
You keep that piece of wood.
I'll make a template. Yeah, nice. Okay, we know what we're doing now. We'll have everything done by the morning.
That'll be good going.
Yeah, we'll have bacon sandwiches all ready for you. And, well, I'm not saying we've graduated in our window diplomas yet, but that completes our first window. I mean, both Tom and I have fitted plenty of windows before. It's a little bit different here because you're wet sealing things with silicone. But there's quite a few different beads, but it's in. And this was probably the easiest one because it's although it was heavy, it's 125 kilo of glass. It's no openings, so pretty straightforward. And we'll do the airtight tape and foam and things like that tomorrow. So there's the tape on there. Once all the foaming is done, then we'll be taping that back. Once the guys have left later in the week and Tom and I are doing them, we'll film in a bit more detail the actual method and also the options, because you can direct fix through the frame, you can use straps, you can use a combination, you can tape in different ways, and I'm sure we'll find our own kind of method and favourite way of doing things. But that is just the windows. Wait till you see the sliders. So here we go, this is what they look like on the outside. So these match all the external windows around the house, all black aluminium on the outside, and then we've got the spruce finish on the inside, which we've intentionally gone for because it's very similar to ash in colour. We're going to use ash elsewhere in the build. So there we go, that's the big lift and slide doors, all 9 metres of them. Absolute solid. Now tomorrow the Visalign sliders are coming, so they are not even on site yet. They're going to get delivered in the morning. That's what the guy's going to fit. But while they're doing those, which by the sounds of it may be easier because they're a bit lighter, they're just an aluminium and they're only double glazed. While they're fitting those, Tom and I are going to push on and trying to get a start on the French doors. The French doors are these ones here, and it's a 3 metre opening. It's quite a lot of glass. And we thought we would just crack on and do that ourselves, but they've hinted that that's quite a difficult project in itself. So they've said, Pedro, who's kind of leading the install, said try and get it started while they're here so they can either lend us kit or give us pointers as we're doing it. Oh, is that your chicken?
Yeah, she's asleep.
Huh?
She's asleep again.
What's your chicken called?
Lucy.
Hello, chicken. How do you know that one's Lucy?
Because its face is fatter, and it's got blue eyes, and
It's got blue eyes?
Yeah.
She doesn't look like she got blue eyes.
No.
Blue eyelids, maybe.
Yeah, and
Well, Faith's got feathered feet, isn't it?
and she's
Nice. Well, go and put her back so she learns where the pen is.
I want to show her the house.
Okay. She might walk into the glass, like the dog did. No, go on. I don't want her learning to come over here.
I want to just show her.
You shouldn't. She's seen it. Give her a tour tomorrow when it's all finished. Don't go near that wood. It's got nails in it. All right. Well done. We started with a funny farm. We'll end with a funny farm. All right. Let me just give you a little look at the last few bits. All the upstairs windows are lent over here now. So we've got the 2 for the south end, and then the 3. They're on their sides at the moment, but the 3 tall vertical ones for up here at the front. We've got to work out how we're getting them up there. I think Speedy are going to send a genie lift. If they don't get that here in time, then I can probably load these onto a pallet and we can forklift them up to the window. Let me leave you with a final look at the lift and slide doors. Again, when it's all finished and we're further along, it'll be easy to show you in detail, but this is what they look like. So there you go, that's what we went for. I can't remember if it's 501 or 505. It's one of the lighter colours. It's just a clear lacquer on there, so it also means that if we ever want to match this, we could use spruce and lacquer, and we know a clear finish, we know we're going to get something to match. And likewise, like I was saying about the ash, it's a very similar sort of colour. So a lift and slide door, rather than just a big sliding door where you've got to push the weight of the door on the runners, on the bearing, a lift and slide door, I'm not actually sure how it works up in the bearings, but as you push down on this, it kicks it up, and by doing that it takes the weight off the bottom, and then literally with a fingertip you can push hundreds of kilos of glass, and sits back. Now I'm pretty sure that, I'm going to ask them tomorrow, I'm pretty sure in the showroom it goes back further, and it looks like the bumper up here can move back, so I'm just going to check to see if we're allowed to do that, because that would allow for probably the right distance. It would probably go all the way. That's everything out there. We've still got a whole heap of stuff going on out here. Look at the size of this pallet. This was what the sliders were on. I mean, that's a fair amount of packaging as it is. I mean, the delivery was eye-watering, and I can at least see where it went. So on here we've got the annex windows. There's 3 of those. There's glass there for one of the windows. That's the kitchen. I don't know what half these are. All I know is packaging flying everywhere. Doors at the back, and then over the far end is where our back doors and side doors are.
Grandpa's old nail remover.
It's like a torture device, pulling your nail. It's day 2 on the install, and today it's all about the Viziline sliders. They're a slimline aluminium sliding door, very different from what we put in yesterday, or they put in yesterday. Just arrived in the van, and they're hopefully going to be able to get it through the French doors over here, which Tom and I are having a go at getting ready. Right, it's been a busy morning. I'll give you a bit of an update. The guys just taking a break now. They've got both of the frames in for the Viziline sliders and one of the sashes. Hey, look who it is. Alright?
Yeah.
Come to have a look.
We have.
Hey, look. I don't know if I meant to slide that yet.
No, I was going to ask that yesterday about the other one.
Oh, the other one's okay, I think.
No.
Done that?
Oh wow! We don't get a reflection at all.
No. Well, that's until our children decide to put handprints all over it. There's a job opportunity if anyone is up for 2 full-time days a week window cleaning. You're looking for an in-house resident. You can have a bedroom in the annex and just clean windows. Because soon you'll be standing up and you'll be going,
All looking at.
yeah. Look how thin that line is. a bit of an update. They're cleaning up, they're finishing up on those Visi lines. There's a little bit of adjustment to do and getting all the lock positions in place. Tom and I've got on and fit a few more windows. I haven't completed them yet because we're going to do the last little bit of packing and foaming and sealing and taping tomorrow. Tapes arriving tomorrow, all the special tapes. We'll maybe go through that in the next video when we're doing a bit more of the detail, but there's this stuff here, Tescon Profil. And we fit this triple window over here, central opener, 2 fixed either side. So that is ready to foam and tape tomorrow. The reason for having the fixed glaze either side is because that's where some of the oak framing is going to sit away from the building. So any curved braces will be over the fixed sections. That said, it is in wood opening anyway, but that's why we opted for, and it looked better with 3, I think. And then if I squeeze through here, so opener over this side facing towards the cabin, and then our 2 big picture windows. They're not quite trimmed out yet, so we've got to put the timber trims back in, but they are all in place, all ready for a clean. Then we've got all the frame put together with the side lights ready for the French doors, so they are ready to hang back in, but again we want to make sure all the fixings and foam and everything is done before we hang the sashes back in, but they're ready waiting in the wings. And then through to the garden room, and got yesterday's efforts over here and now the new ones over this side. Completely different style, but still black, still see-through, which helps. I did a bit of a follow-up and I found out the reason for this not sitting all the way home. The reason for it is safety, because if you imagine having finger there and several 100 kilo of door sliding, it's probably not a good look. So that's the reason why the stopper halts it there. You can move that stopper to the end, but you're not meant to. I think that's how they always used to be. That would end up flush, and the other end you'd have frame on frame rather than a little gap of glass. But I don't think there's any way around that, apart from just shouting at the kids all the time. So we're going to get on and do all the sealing. We've got to finish the floor, and then we'll trim back that DPC on the ground there, and then we've just got a little bit of trim probably to put there. But that threshold just doesn't feel like a threshold at all. It's less than 20mm difference, and you just step through. And because the actual seal is tapered, it feels more like a slope and you just step over it. So by the time we've got a little moulding there, it's all good. Outside aluminium doors are more about the view than anything. They're 2.5 meters tall, really thin sight line. This is only 25mm thick compared to, 150mm frames over there. Only double glazed because, like I said, it's not about the thermal performance, because this is indoor-outdoor space. It's not the actual main envelope of the house. And the threshold detail for this we'll be covering in the future when we get the groundworks done. There's some oak framing to do first, and then we need to look at the drainage, because we want to make sure that we've got a channel drain running underneath as well as one that's set into the patio finish, because this is going to be almost a level threshold going out this way as well. So we've got a lot of groundwork to do out there, but it will be worth it. It's got to come up, I think, 350 outside. Well, that's it. The sliders are in, all 4 of them, absolute monsters. We're absolutely loving it because we've got a bit of an indoor space now, which is out of the elements. We can shut the dog in here, shut the kids in here. They've been in here doing some crafts and stuff. But massive thank you to Eco House, because we would not have managed. I know my DIY limits, and there was a lot of lifting in that. I don't know what weight these were, over 200 kilo a piece. And there's obviously 9 meters there and another 9 meters to the aluminium. Glad to see the back of it. That was the risky bit, getting all the glass in. Anyway, I'm going to say a huge thank you to Eco House, because we struggled for a long time to find a window supplier, one that we could actually visit a showroom. There's a lot of window companies out there, really high performance, triple glazed, passive house standard windows. But if you can't see them in the flesh, it's a bit risky, and some of them were miles and miles away to other end of the country or other countries. We went to Swindon, to the self-build centre. If you haven't been there, well recommend it. It's worthwhile visit, because you see lots and lots of different brands in the same place. You can also go midweek and no one's trying to sell you anything, because no one actually there. You just look at stands. Even so, there's only a limited range of any window company. They've only got their little box, their 3x3 bit. So we saw a few things there, but actually it turned out that in Stroud or Nailsworth, Eco House have got their main showroom. So within 45 minutes of here, we could see nearly every single product on the Internorm range, which is this brand behind me. Plus, they do other, they're not just one manufacturer, and they've also got their aluminium products. So we could see all the samples, and we made a good choice, I think, because we just had endless options available to us. The team were really useful. As part of putting our package together, we agreed a few videos. So they're sponsoring this video, which has helped a little bit along the way, but this is still a mighty expensive part of the build. This is probably our biggest, well, it is our single biggest ticket item, but we just don't want to do it twice. There's no point in putting windows in and then needing to upgrade them in 15, 20 years time. These are as good as they get right now, as far as thermally, acoustic, everything that comes with glass. So I think, as painful as it was to spend, I don't even know, probably quarter of our budget on glass, we had quotes, other quotes over £100,000. These weren't that high, but they were getting on for that much. And it was a horrible thing to have to spend money on, but there were things we could do once we had our glazing schedule, which is your list of all your sizes, openings and everything, and the spec from your architects. You send that to the window companies, and they can quote like for like, but you do need to be careful because sometimes they offer you a discount at the end, sometimes they discount within the products. This is just kind of normal run-of-the-mill discounts because every manufacturer runs different sales, different times of the year. It's like buying a sofa, So you need to read the fine print because you're not sure what you're comparing. Some companies can't do sliders this wide, some can. So we went with Internorm because they could do everything we needed. But also, as far as the pricing goes, there were things we did which changed. Maybe we'll do a bit more of a detailed look at our glazing schedule if people were interested, because we could make savings of maybe 30-40% by changing things on windows. Sometimes it was less openers or no openers in the case of the windows in the kitchen. That saved a lot of money. Sliders are the most expensive item. These are getting on for £10,000 each. I don't think they were that much, but the list price is something like that. We wanted to limit how many of these we had. The aluminium ones over there are probably half the price, but I wouldn't want those as my primary glazing necessarily because these are just far, far better performing. Remember, a lift and slide door like this slides, and then as it drops down into position, it seals like a blooming aeroplane door. And if you don't have that, then you just have to rely on brush seals, which is so inferior. They're the same as a normal plastic patio door. They're no better. So I've not stood there with a howling wind yet, but I can't imagine they're very airtight. Whereas these are super airtight, sealed shut, passive house approved. So you get what you pay for, but by reducing the number of lift and slide doors, we were able to hold our budget back a bit, because having French doors, a normal double pair with glass either side into the kitchen made a huge saving, and they still open back against the others, so you still end up with the same opening as you would have with a slider. Now the reason, which I'm sure a few of you will be wondering, is why we didn't go for bifolds, is all about the view. You have so many glazing bars, it just ruins the view. Yes, you can open it all the way, but they're also, they can be a bit dodgy as far as adjustments, especially on big spans. And of course, air tightness. They're not the easiest things to seal. Like a sliding door, a lift and slide door is the best way, as far as I know from my research, of getting a high performance air sealed opening. If you have that with bifolds, it's very, very difficult to do so. Anyway, that's our decision, and that's how we got to where we are. Lots more to share as we work our way through the buildings. Of course, Eco House, we paid them to come and fit these big sliders, thankfully, because that was a big old lift. These were, several hundred kilos to get in place. However, we got a bit of training on site. So we actually paid for a training session, which they kind of did ad hoc as they were here, whilst we were doing some windows alongside them. And then Tom and I can carry on and do all the windows. We've got loads of windows throughout the whole building. We've got different types of doors. We've got UPVC aluminium doors for in the far corner. We've got huge tall ones at the front upstairs, and we've also got a balcony to fit upstairs. So there's, I think looking at it, we've almost got the whole range of glazing options here, so it's going to be interesting to work our way through those. But huge thank you again to Eco House for working with us on the project, and we'll leave a link to them down in the description. More to come. There's 2 more videos at least of us trying to wrangle these windows and get them fit, but so far so good. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.